And why do attorneys and lawyers have to have a license to practice? Well, the reason why is because they are making money. It's a commercial enterprise to be a lawyer. You make good money. But how are you making the money? Well, you're making money because you have studied the books. They're called law books. You go to a school and a university, and for years you studied the law, and you study the books, and you take a test, and if you pass the test, then you can be a lawyer. Now you can make money. But how are you making the money? Well, every day when you go into court and you're arguing a case, pro or con, you're arguing on the basis of what the law books say. So you're using those law books to make your case. Okay, you cannot in Hollywood. Anybody in Hollywood knows that you cannot take my story that I wrote and you make a movie off of it without talking to me first. You can't just come in and take my story and make a movie and TV show. I own it. I am the one that wrote the script. So if you're going to make a movie of it, that's great. Talk to me first, and me and my attorney first. Don't go making a movie and then tell me that you own it. So that's why lawyers have to have a license, because they are using somebody else's book to make a living. They're using the law books, and the law books were written by somebody. They don't know who, but whoever it is that wrote the law books, they got to get a piece of the action. They want to be paid. If you're going to use our books to go into court and make money, yeah, well, you pay us first. So the education you got, was out of my book that I wrote. So there's what the real interesting question is for any lawyer. If you think that you're so hot about law, who wrote your law books? Where were they printed? And who said that that particular law book is the law? What is this all about, the law? I can tell you that when you go to university and college to learn law, you do not learn about law. You learn about procedure, not law. You learn what is in the book. Read the book. What does it say you can do and not do? Well, memorize it, and you'll take a test. And so after all these years of studying and memorizing, you take the test, and now you're a lawyer. Why? Because now when I present you with the situation, you can say, well, wait a minute. No, the law says, the book says this, and that. That's what you're being paid to tell me, is what does the law say? So you're not learning about law. You're learning about what does the book say. Now, if you want to talk about law, now that's different. Now you can go into the philosophy of law, go back into the British Empire, go back into the Babylonian, Sumerian, the Egyptian Empire, go back to the British East India Company, to Hindu law, to the coming down of the Greco-Roman law, and to Britannia, and to British law. And now you're talking about religion, the conceptual ideas of concepts behind religion and laws and God and all of this stuff. Now you're talking about law.
The presumptions underlying the law, very difficult to discover, hence Jordan Maxwell.
And so
even that's the Code of Hammurabi.
Yeah, that's what is that, about 5,000 years ago, something like that. So the idea is that if you're going to be a lawyer, you're not learning about law, you're learning about procedure. It's the same thing if you go into any big corporation, you go to work for General Motors. Nobody is telling you that you have to know what the boss is doing. You don't need to know what the general accountants for Ford Motor Company are doing with the money. That's none of your business. You're being taught, and you're on trial. You're being taught to do your job. So you go there every day, and they're paying you to learn your job. And once you learn your job, now you have a job at the corporation. You keep your nose out of the boss's business. What he does upstairs is none of your business. You do what you're told to do, you get paid, and that's it. We don't want to hear anything out of you. We're not asking you for your opinion. The same thing is true in law. It doesn't matter who wrote the law books. You quote from that law book, and that's good enough. And who wrote it? You just pay us. Every year you get a license, you pay for the license, because a license is a permit to do something which without that permit would be unlawful, would be illegal.
Well, when you're talking about law, you're talking about sovereignty.
Yeah.
That's what a sovereign does fundamentally. He makes war and he makes law. And the word law is not that far away from the word war.
That's right. Yeah. That's why when the founding of this country, there was a big discussion on Is America going to be under Lex, L-E-X, or R-E-X? Lex,
King's law.
King's law, or Lex Rex, the law is king. So in America, it was is the law king here, or is the king the law? So if the king is the law, then put the law books away. Whatever the king says, that's what the law is. But if the law is the king, then write down the laws, and that's what the law is. We don't give a damn who the king is. We don't care if it's President Nixon or not. If the law is the law is the king, not the president, not the king.
Well, that gets into an interesting topic about the Bill of Rights, the right to a trial by a jury, because the idea was the people on that jury would be sovereign.
Mm-hmm. That's what it meant. And this is why there's a very big difference. I've heard that there's a very big difference between a trial by jury
and a jury
trial.
Right.
Doesn't mean the same thing at all.
Jury trial, make the decision based on the facts presented. Don't bother with the law. Trial by a jury, now you're talking about possible jury nullification.
Yeah, jury nullification. And
U.S. citizens do not have access to the Bill of Rights. Jones v. Temer, 1993 court case. Google Scholar for the people who couldn't find it, were not able to find it the first time. You have to read the footnotes.
Google Scholar.
Google Scholar. Jones v. Temer. They make it very clear in one of the footnotes from the judges. It's a case about taxi cab drivers in Denver. But they were bringing in the case under the guise of the 14th Amendment, and that judge put a little humdinger in there to let people know this is what the 14th Amendment covers. Not the same thing as state citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
And U.S. citizens don't have access to the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, so if you are a U.S. citizen, then you do not have access to the Bill of Rights, period.
And there probably was something about that on one of your Jordan Maxwell Show Facebook pages.
Yeah, probably.
Which was so ignominiously eradicated by your adversaries.
Yeah, had it pulled down immediately. Yeah, because look at the one thing, well, let me go back and say this. People, generally speaking, will always support what they like. They will not support what they don't like. So people will buy the kind of clothes they want to wear, not the clothes they don't want to wear. They will eat at the restaurant that they want to eat at, not the one they don't like, right? They go to a movie to see a particular actor that they like, not to go see one they don't like. And if you love country music, you're not going to spend $50 to go to an acid rock concert. People will spend money and support what they want to eat, wear, enjoy, entertainment. They will buy the car they want. So the idea is that people will spend money and support what they want. They will not spend money and support what they don't want. Very simple. Well, the same thing is true today. If history has taught us anything, if the history of this world has taught us anything, it's this. Overwhelming numbers of people, the majority of the people on the face of the earth, and all of history have proven one thing that people, generally speaking, don't want and will not support is the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what they want to hear, so they will pay money to hear what they want to hear, not what they don't want to hear.
Good point. So
therefore, they will pay a lot of money to like on Sunday morning, you'll see all these churches with 25,000 people paying $50 to get in. And why? Because they want to hear this young man up there dazzling them with all these wonderful stories and dancing around the stage with his little homosexual haircut and his limos and diamond rings and Rolex watches, and he's dancing around the stage. It's a show. It's a show, and people love it. They can't wait till Sunday to go and watch the show.